evening, everyone. My name is Debbie Singleton, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I hope everyone is doing okay this evening, and everyone had a great day and weekend. I think I am live. Chime in when you are on. I don't know that anybody's quite on yet. It's just now 7 o'clock, but give everyone a second to kind of chime in here. So I had a really nice weekend. I, of course, rained like crazy. So I was at a crafting retreat on Saturday, and it rained like crazy. Hi, Mom. Thanks for joining. And it was raining like crazy on Saturday while we were out crafting at our retreat. It was crazy rain. And I snuck out Saturday night just before it started raining again and came home. I had made plans with my daughter and grandkids to go to the pumpkin patch. And we were going to go out to Dewey at the pumpkin patch, but they were closed, of course, because it had rained and was crazy muddy, so they had closed. So then we kind of made plans to go maybe to Tummelchoff, but they were closed because of the rain and mud. And so Haley was very much looking forward to going to the pumpkin patch because she did not have dance on Sunday at all for once. So Jessica found another place to go to, and it was called Bermondsey Farms. I don't even know, but it was out in Mesa. So we took a chance, and luckily it did not rain on Sunday, and we had so much fun. And actually it was not very muddy at all. I mean, there were mud spots, so you just kind of made sure that the kids didn't tromp through the mud spots, but it was so much fun. And they had so much to do. So they had a corn maze, and they had this rolly thing that the kids could get into this big, huge bin and, use their hands and their feet and roll through on some tracks. They could ride ponies. They could feed. There was a petting zoo, so they could feed the animals. Let's see, what else could they do? They could do quite a bit of stuff. Oh, they had several slides that they could go down, so that was super fun. Haley thought that was a lot of fun. They had a big tall slide and then a little slide, and that was a lot of fun. So they had a lot of fun at the pumpkin patch. We were there quite a few hours, and it was quite a bit of fun. Hi, Jess, talking about the fun pumpkin patch. And it was a lot of fun, and we really, really enjoyed going to pumpkin patch with the kids and the grandkids. So it was fun, and not a lot of mud. So it was very enjoyable. And we left a little bit early, and the kids got some pumpkins. Did you guys pick out some good pumpkins? The pumpkin patch at the end. So you had to go around, and they had a place set up that you could pick out pumpkins, but it was closed. So you had to go to like the store to pick out the pumpkins instead of where they would normally pick them out because it was muddy. But super fun, super fun. We had a great time. So glad we could join the kids to do that. So it was a lot of fun. So I was thinking about, you did find some good ones. Okay, perfect. I'm so glad. I know Haley had a lot of fun, and we did have fun with the kids, so I'm glad. Anyway, so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a card. I was almost going to do some more pumpkins because I was inspired by the pumpkin patch, but I just couldn't figure out anything to do. So I kind of jumped on, and I was inspired by a lady. She did this really very easy, fun card. We have this set in the catalog. It's actually in the main catalog, and it uses one of our punches. And a lot of times we don't use punches very often, and so I thought it was super cute. So I did it in using again the Cajun Craze, and I know I used this color last week, but I ended up using it again this week. But I did use the pumpkin bundle of paper, because this paper, it's not what it's called. It's called Rustic Harvest bundle GSP. And again, you could use the pumpkin paper. You could use the other side that's black and white. You could use the the harvest. There's a green in here. There's a yellow in here. There's a green. Let me find the green. She used the green paper, which is really pretty too. I didn't want to copy her completely, but you could use this really pretty green paper. That would be really nice. But I decided to use this rust color paper. So that's the one I used out of here. And then I paired it with very vanilla. But the bundle is called Very Best Occasions, and then when you bundle it, it comes with this punch, this 3-way punch. And the Very Best Occasions has all different sayings on here. It has "You're the very best," "Happy birthday," "Thinking of you," "You make life happier." There's a bunch on there. I'm not going to read them all, but it's got quite a few on there. So I picked Especially Grateful because the card, and you could do Happy Birthday as well, but just because of the colors. So the one we're going to make, I'm going to use a different embossing color because you can't really see the color that I picked. Again, you learn as you go. So I picked, because you can't see, I'm going to switch you here so you can see this a little bit. You can't even see it in here, but you can't even see it on here. So the embossing color I picked was bronze. I thought that would be really pretty. No. So we're going to actually do gold. I'm going to pick gold and see if you can't see the gold better on here, because it doesn't show very well on the paper, even when you look at it, when I look at it, and you definitely can't see it on here. So we're going to try gold. But I just thought this was such a neat card, and it's all using the punch. So we did the edges on all of them with the punch, and I just thought that was a neat idea. And your card, we hardly did any stamping, but yet we have a really pretty card. So I thought that would be kind of neat to just do. And then on the inside, you could actually stamp on do the inside with the punch. I just not thought of that. And do your edges on the inside, and that would make it even look kind of cool too. So, but I used Very Vanilla on the inside as well. So we'll get started. So I have it all cut out for us. So our cardstock is pretty basic. So again, I use the Cajun Craze, and that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then our Very Vanilla, I cut out 2 pieces, and I cut them out at 5 1/4 by 4. And then I cut out the Cajun Craze in the DSP, and that is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. That's going to go on here like that. And then we need a tag piece, and that sentiment tag is 2 by 3 1/4. But then we need to layer that piece as well. So that Very Vanilla piece, tag sentiment matte piece, is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. So we're gonna take this is what it's unusual. Usually our sorry, my brain is used today. Actually, I used it a lot today. Our punch is usually just a single punch, but you can use this punch 3 different ways. You can use the punch, then it has this little squiggles. You can use it as a triangle, and then we're going to use the punch also to punch out this little tag. So to use this, you flip it over, and then we're going to do the left hand corner. We're going to put this in like this. And we're going to put this in. Oh, I'm on the camera. Oops. And you want to go like that. And then you're going to flip it over and you're going to do the other side. And again, you're going to punch. And then you're going to come up and you're going to do the left-hand corner again. And flip it over and you're going to do the other corner. This is so that you'll punch and they'll all be the same. There we go. Now we're going to punch these. I'm going to do the left-hand corner. Put that in there. Flip it over. Flip it over. And it just shoots it out at you, but that way you can see what you're doing. All right, so now we want to do this piece. And then we're going to flip it over and do this piece. And this side. This side. And then we want to do the very vanilla. And I found that if I hold the stamp up and then I hold this piece of paper, I get it in there, and then I hold that up as well, then it stays in there where I want it to be. And then it just keeps shooting all the shrapnel at you. All right. And I'm going to do the inside of the card just to give it some pretty. Go on the inside. Okay. All right, so we can put the inside in here. Just glue that in. And you can always put a sentiment on the inside as well. It just gives it a little bit more character for the inside. That does look kind of nice. Okay, so now we can put this on here because we're going to just glue it. So we can do that. Okay. Now we want to stamp our sentiment on here. This is better. When you're embossing, you need to use VersaMark. So your VersaMark just looks white, but you'll be able to see it when you stamp it on your paper. Okay. So you'll just make sure you put it about in the middle. And you guys can't see that on camera, I'm sorry, but you can see that it did, you can see that you'll be able to see that when you're live. You can see that it stamped it on there. And then you can take this comes in little cups, but I put it in here because it's easier to maneuver with. And then just dump it on here. Shake it off. And then we have an embossing tool. I just do it on low. And then it becomes magic. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on there, but it does change color. See, it's starting to change color. You can't tell on there, but it's pretty hot. Oh, and you can barely see it on there. Well, there now you can't see what it reads, but now it's before you couldn't see it at all, and at least now you can see that it's gold. So I like the gold much better now. You can at least see it as compared to the one I did. You can't even read it. So at least this time you can read it. So I'm glad that I went to the gold. So then we're gonna put that on top of here. So glue that on. Turned out nice. I like that. And now this was hard for me. We want to put this little tag in here. And so I did not get it very even before, but it doesn't really matter. It did not want to. Oh, there, that was better this time. There we go. I couldn't do it the last time, so I didn't do it very well for me. You gotta put it all the way in and then use all your force, and then it'll punch that little keyhole. And that's what we wanted. And then put your this really pretty ribbon. It's golden. It's got some gold in it, but it's vanilla and gold. So then feed this through. Just a little bit. Cut that off. And then I used Baker's twine, and we have some really pretty twine that actually has some gold in it, but I don't have it. I hadn't ordered it, so I don't have it with me. So I just use regular twine and come off here. And I'm gonna just oh my goodness. First one was not this hard. Making it harder than it really is. Basically just gonna tie it. It's really not hard. I'm just making it hard for some particular reason. The first one I did was super easy. You know, when you're live, everything seems to want to be hard. There we go. And make a bow. Basically, you're just tying this so that it's going to just stay there for you. All right. I really just don't want my loops to be that big. Trim that. There we go. It's just holding it on there. Okay, and then we can put this glue that I use dimensionals. Give it some dimensions so it's not just completely flat on there. It won't just stick to me. Okay. And now we're ready to glue that to the front of the card. Put our embellish, our little bling on there, and we are done with our card. Oh, that looks really good with the gold. I like that better with the gold. Whoops, that moved on me. Okay. And then I use these little embellishments. They're brushed metallic, and then they do have some gold on here. Use the gold ones. We're going to just put some more gold doodads on here. You know, you could make it a birthday card. You could make it a thank you card. You could just make it any kind of card you want. There we go. We have our card. Now I could trim that off so it'll go in the envelope, but there's our card. There we go. You can kind of see the coloring. And then on the inside, you could write your, I like that better that I did the edges in the inside. The other one I didn't. So that matches really nicely with that. So that looks really good that way. And that's our card. I mean, it's super simple, but yet I think it's elegant. So, I mean, I think it looks really nice. And yet it's simple, but it's easy. And we forget that we have punches that we can do really pretty things with. So you know, I really liked that idea when I saw that being done, and I was like, wow, that's easy to do. So that was kind of nice. Well, I hope that you enjoyed our card tonight, an easy, simple card, and I will see you next week. If you need anything, let me know. I'm here to help. Give me a call or send me an email, and we will see you next week, and enjoy. Have a good week. Bye-bye.